yourself. You're doing good, brother. I'm proud of you, man. You finally made it, man. I think you there, you know? Yeah. I just gotta ask you one question. One question, Black Dog. You think I can get that $5, man? Know what I'm talking about? Hey!
I think I'm big now. I think I'm about to shut the whole city down. Man, y'all gon' love me when y'all hear the sound. I'm about to make it big, so how you like me now? I think I'm big now. I think I'm about to shut the whole city down. Man, they gon' love me when they hear the sound. I'm about to make it big, so how y'all like me now?
Man, I'm sipping on this Long Island. Just wishing I was somewhere laying on an island. I'm feeling good rolling through the hood. My city loving me just like I knew they would. It took some time, but now I'm on top. I'm steady making moves cause I can't stop. So when you see me, give me my prop. Before I say the word and your career stop. Now every day is like a celebration. Remind me of the hard times we was facing. When I was young, I always had this dream to make it big and be up on a winning team. I get respect from everywhere I go. From 70 up top to 85 below. Now pop a bottle of some Martell. Now sit back and watch how my ship sails.
I think I'm big now. I think I'm about to shut the whole city down. Man, y'all gon' love me when y'all hear the sound. I'm about to make it big, so how you like me now? I think I'm big now. I think I'm about to shut the whole city down. Man, they gon' love me when they hear the sound. I'm about to make it big, so how y'all like me now?
I roll around feeling like a champ. I'm validated so I don't need a stamp. I'm working hard trying to reach my goals. But haters telling me that I was too old. But Kelly Ray said make your daddy proud. Now represent, cause you his only child. So now I'm focused pedal to the metal. Switching lanes, doing things, about to reach my highest level. I'm thanking God cause he knew my plan. I put my trust in him, I never trust a man. I got respect for everybody grinding. Shout out to OG Rip, this was perfect timing.
What up, homie?
So put your bottles up and take a sip. Now grab a mic, let's show them how to make a hit. I'm finally playing on your local station. I guess I made it big, it's a celebration.
I think I'm big now. I think I'm about to shut the whole city down. Man, y'all gon' love me when y'all hear the sound. I'm about to make it big, so how you like me now? I think I'm big now. I think I'm about to shut the whole city down. Man, they gon' love me when they hear the sound. I'm about to make it big, so how y'all like me now?
Look, let's start it. I'm way too cool. I wish I would've known that when I was in school. Lack of confidence that kept me back. 4 years later, oh, I definitely got that. 2 cars, a house, and a beautiful wife. To me, these are my successes in life. Been working for my company for 7 years. Promotion every 2, yeah, real stunting's here. Check me in the city, it ain't hard to find me. Volunteer events, won't you join in the grind? Make the world better, that's my goal. I really am kind, check my soul. What's my name? I'm Dario. Shout out Juicy J, I borrowed the flow. Wanna change the world? Ask me how. Come with me, let's get big now.
I think I'm big now. I think I'm about to shut the whole city down. Man, y'all gon' love me when y'all hear the sound. I'm about to make it big, so how you like me now? I think I'm big now. I think I'm about to shut the whole city down. And they gon' love me when they hear the sound. I'm about to make it big, so how y'all like me now?
Black Dog, man, look here, man. Look here, bro. I'm really enjoying what you're doing, bro. I mean, you know, I don't care about the $5. I mean, not really. I mean, I do, but I don't. I just want to hang out with you, man. You know, just take this journey with you, man. You know, all over the world, man. You know, you really doing your thing, man. And I'm so proud, man. You know, so proud, man. Can I get like $2.50? Nah, I'm just playing. $1.50? Come on, man. Let's go, man. I'm out of here, man. All right, Black Dog.
Thank you.
dog. What's up, man? Here, man. Now, I've been following you for a long time, brother. And it look like you're starting to do good for yourself. You're doing good, brother. I'm proud of you, man. You finally made it, man. I think you there, you know? Yeah. I just gotta ask you one question. One question, black dog. You think I can get that $5 now? Know what I'm talking about?
I think I'm big now. I think I'm about to shut the whole city down. Man, y'all gon' love me when y'all hear the sound. I'm about to make it big, so how you like me now? I think I'm big now. I think I'm about to shut the whole city down. Man, they gon' love me when they hear the sound. I'm about to make it big, so how y'all like me now?
Man, I'm sipping on this Long Island. Just wishing I was somewhere laying on an island. I'm feeling good rolling through the hood. My city loving me just like I knew they would. It took some time, but now I'm on top. I'm steady making moves cause I can't stop. So when you see me, give me my props. Before I say the word and your career stop. Now every day is like a celebration. Remind me of the hard times we was facing. When I was young, I always had this dream to make it big and be up on a winning team. I get respect from everywhere I go. From 70 up top to 85 below. Now pop a bottle of some Martell. Now sit back and watch how my ship sails.
I think I'm big now. I think I'm about to shut the whole city down. Man, y'all gon' love me when y'all hear the sound. I'm about to make it big, so how you like me now? I think I'm big now. I think I'm about to shut the whole city down. Man, they gon' love me when they hear the sound.
Press 1 if you can hear me. Press 1 if you can hear me. All right. Well, welcome back, radio listeners. It is time for episode 20. I know that you guys saw the headline. Super Bowl champs. How about that, everyone? I am super excited this week. Nothing can go wrong. Let's see. We got the parade Wednesday. My boy Nick Wright is coming in town tonight. I might go a little scene stepping later on, see if I can catch up with him. You know, we're not on a first name basis yet, but hey, we'll get there. But glad to see everybody tuning in this week. I need to remind everybody, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bells because it will send you alerts when we go live. But yeah, let's get into it. I know we kind of touched on a new format last week. We did some formatting over the week, and we ready to strut on a episode 20 Super Bowl champ roll. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. I see all the ones. Hey, hold on, wait. Before we go into that, let me see what we got going on. I lost my voice. I lost my voice too, but it's coming back. So, as you guys can see the rundown there for today's topics, we got first quarter, fair or foul. We played that game last week. We're going to go back to it again this week and see if we can get that rolling even better. Quarter 2, second quarter, we're going to go over some game picks. Third quarter, we're going to go over Who Dat. If you guys remember last week, we played that game. Mine is coming back slowly. I heard that. I should have brought me some water because my throat get kind of dry. But fourth quarter, we're going to hit on Dario's Hot 5. It is a new segment that we've added to the show that I'm really excited to go over with you guys. And then, I see you, CRJ2. Yeah, yours is coming back too. I think all of our voices are coming back after that game. And then overtime, I'm going to hit you guys with a little something. We can do like a little open discussion there. I kind of want to hear a little, just, you know, Valentine's Day. I want to hear what y'all doing for Valentine's Day. What y'all did, what you got planned for this weekend, all that kind of stuff. But we'll touch on that in the overtime segment. But let's jump right into it. Fair or foul. Last week we did some polls, so let me go ahead and get this first poll going. Let's see. let's see. First poll question. I'm going to put it in and then... Oh, thanks. I said I needed some water and then my wife brought me a water while on stream. That is awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's love right there. Take note. Valentine's Day. All right. So let's go ahead and drop this first poll question up in there. And for the first poll question, well, I guess I got to start the clock, don't I? Okay. First poll question is going to be, is the Chiefs are a dynasty? I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are on that. Is that fair? Is that a fair statement? Or is that foul? Chiefs are a dynasty. You the real MVP, CC. I agree. Hold on, let's pin that. But let's go ahead and ask the community that. The Chiefs are a dynasty. Is that fair or is that foul? Let me hear what you guys think about that. And we're going to jump into this a little bit closer. Let's go ahead. Bam. Chiefs. Are they a dynasty? Fair or foul? So, give you guys my take on this. I am a huge Chiefs fan. I don't know if you guys have noticed that by now. So it's hard for me to pick anything against the Chiefs. But I'm gonna have to say that we're not a dynasty. Uh-oh. I'm moving the wrong thing. Look at that. I'm gonna have to say we are not a dynasty yet. I come from the school of thought that it takes 3 championships to be considered a dynasty. I think we're 1 championship away from being considered a dynasty. But I think we're on the way. I think this is the molding of a dynasty. This is when you start having the conversations like, hey, this team is, they're preventing people from getting oh look, man, that's all overwhelming fair against my take here, but I think we need 3. I think we need 3 championships to be considered a dynasty. Now, I can see where everybody's coming from with, hey, we've been 5 consecutive AFC Championship games, 3 Super Bowl appearances, 2 wins. It's really dominating what the Chiefs are doing. But I come from that school of thought that you need 3 to be considered a dynasty. But I agree. We are absolutely going to get it. We are absolutely going to get that dynasty. It's inevitable at this point. It's coming. Whether you want it to or not, it is coming. The dynasty is here. Let's see. I feel like a dynasty conversation starts at 3 championships. I come from the same school of thought. That to be considered a dynasty, you have to have 3 championships. We're at 86% fair. But let's go ahead and jump into the next question. I'm running out of time already. This is crazy. Let me go ahead and post it. Referee. Let's see. I need to hire a mod. That way they can put this stuff in for me. Oh, shoot. I'm messing up. In this poll. Oh. All right. So the next question I'm putting in here, if I can figure out how to work my stuff. Huh. Yeah, I need to hire a mod. Anybody want to volunteer to be a mod for this stuff? So I can have them enter the polls in for me while I'm talking, because it's taking up too much time for me to type. But, next one is the referee Bradbury holding call on Juju. Was that holding call fair or was it foul? I want to hear what you guys think about that. That holding call, was it fair or was it foul? Was that holding call fair or foul? Looks like we got something in the chat we got to catch up with. Let's see. Hey, you don't need to see air to know it's there. Hey, Chiefs are air. I like that. Hey, you're right. You're right. It's happening. It's inevitable. Let's see. Were the Bills in the 90s a dynasty? Talk like they were. No, they didn't win anything. So I don't think they were a dynasty. If they would have won something, then maybe. But I think the holding call was fair. I think it was the right call. I think it was absolutely the right call that was made on that holding call. I don't care. I'm going over. We're going to call a timeout. It's taking me too long to put these in the thing. But no, the Bills in the 90s were not a dynasty because they didn't win. Let's see. You have won 3 rings within how many years, though? Ooh. Within how many years? See, when we get to talking about that, I think it's the core, the combination of the core all together. You win 3 rings. I say, man, it's hard to win in sports. I say in a 7-year span, like in a 7-year window, if you win 3 rings, I think you're considered a dynasty. You're constantly being talked about in that 7-year span, and then you have 3 rings on top of it. I think you are a dynasty because you've controlled. Well, really, honestly, no. I'm gonna spin it out to a decade, because if you won 3 rings in a decade, I think you've kind of controlled that decade. Winning 3 of those rings in that decade, you've had a section of that decade where you were the top team on top and controlled a lot of the stuff. Let's see, Dolphins had a dynasty claim with only 2 Super Bowls. I don't think the Dolphins were a dynasty either. See, we're still on the Chiefs dynasty topic. I should have just rolled with just that one question for fair or foul this week. I can't give the Chiefs the dynasty nod yet. Okay, see, you kind of feeling the same way with me. We got Jordan saying that I don't know if this is to the dynasty or to the referee, but unfair. Let's see. We have someone else say they agree. Definitely a decade. Yeah, I agree. I say in a 10-year span, if you win 3 years, you can be considered a dynasty. But looks like everybody is 70% of the people say that the referee call that they made was fair. And this is how I honestly feel as a Chiefs fan. This is the first time in my fandom that calls have been going our way a little bit. I mean, there's still been some questionable calls there, but in the majority of it, calls have been going our way, and it doesn't suck. I really enjoy it. I don't think it's bad. It's not bad to be on the other side of getting some favorable calls. At the end of the game against the Bengals, we got a favorable call with the late hit, which it was a late hit. And then at the end of this Super Bowl game, we got a favorable call on the holding, which it was a hold. He held. End of story. Let's see. We got some more in the chat. Let's go review the chat. But what if they got to go to the AFC games for the next 5 years but don't win a ring? Then that means you're coming up short. I can't throw you in that dynasty section at that point. We do have 3 rings. Well, we do have 3 rings, but not in the span of a decade. Yep, 3 in a decade. Yep, that's what I'm going with. 3 in a decade. The holding call was definitely fair. Yes, I agree with that. But yeah, 3 in a decade, I think it's coming. It's inevitable. We're going to get it. So let's go ahead and go to the third fair or foul question. But shoot, it seemed like we could have stayed on this Chiefs topic all day. I should have known better, especially after a Super Bowl Sunday. Everything should have just been Chiefs this whole entire episode. But let's go ahead. I'm gonna ask you guys this last poll question here, of fair and foul. So this question is: Net Super Team the most disappointing of all time? The most disappointing super team of all time. That is the fair or foul question here. Is that a fair statement that they're the most disappointing super team of all time, or is that foul? What do you guys think? Let me know in the poll. What does the community think? Oh, we got some more We got some more popping up here. A DB that had gotten beat on the route twice with no one near a wide receiver. He had to hold or it would have been a touchdown. Hey, simple. Gotta win them. At that point, making it there and not winning will start hurting the rep. I agree. Not winning, making it there and not winning, you're not finishing the job. Failed experiment. This was your pick, Dario. Hey, let's talk about this. Let me go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it for everybody watching here. I was wrong. I was wrong about the Nets. They highly disappointed me. And I think it's fair that they're considered the most disappointing super team of all time. I was talking them up. I was supporting them. They had some momentum. And then Kyrie came out of nowhere and said, I'm out of here. And then Kevin Durant traded shortly after. But can we talk about something a little bit even deeper than that, if I'm just being honest? I thought Kyrie and KD were supposed to be best friends. If my best friend up and says, hey, I'm out of here, you on your own, I'ma feel some kind of way. What is going on? Let's see. 16 games with Durant, Harden, and Kyrie. Shake my head. Yeah, because they were hurt. The COVID thing, proof that current players shouldn't play GM. Hey, that's facts. The Lakers with Kobe Bryant, Karl Malone, Gary Payton, and Shaq. Whew, that was a disappointing super team. But Karl Malone and Gary Payton were older. They were older by the time that team came. Let's see. Kyrie is starting to have Terrell Owens voodoo around him. Man, I like Kyrie. I love Kyrie. But I think he's the best ball handler. I think he's a tough shot maker. I think he's a Batman if he just get this right. I think he's a Batman on any team. But I don't know what's going on with Kyrie. That's my boy. And it's getting hard to support him. It's getting hard to support him. I think that was a very disappointing team. Like, if you think about it, Kyrie, James Harden, and Kevin Durant, you think that's like the most unstoppable offense ever. And what did we have to show for it? We don't have much to show for it. Rockets with Chuck, Pittman, Hakeem might be up there. And Chuck likes to throw a lot of shots at the Lakers and their little super team that was aged. And then he likes to say, well, the Rockets don't count because we were all old. LeBron ain't 38 years old. LeBron ain't 38 years old. I mean, it's the same thing. It's so funny how quick you're able to make excuses for yourself, but not for others. Let's see. Kyrie, the most overrated player in the league. All right, we ain't gonna say all that. Kyrie Cole, he ain't up here. Hey, just so anybody that's not from Kansas City that might be watching, this is where the parade gonna be at, right behind me, Union Station. But yeah, I think it's fair, and it looks like the overwhelming audience believes, 86% of us believe that it is fair that they are the most disappointing super team of all time. So I appreciate everybody's participation in that fair or foul segment. Kyrie selfish, yo. Yeah, that's. I think that line right there definitely hits it. Kyrie is very, very selfish. Very, very selfish. But we're going to go ahead and end that poll. We're going to jump over to quarter two. Let's go ahead and get this set up. Quarter two is game picks. So let's jump into the game picks. Reset my clock. Let's get going. So, we got a few more things that came in on that last. They never had a fair shot. The media kept doing too much, and they couldn't stop getting injured. Yeah, all of them was hurt. KD takes a bit to legacy on this one. True, Eric. He left Steph. Hey, KD left Steph for that. I mean, who knows how many rings they could have won if KD would have stayed there. But I do think injuries had a big part in that, to where that Nets team never got to live up to what it could have been. But going into these game picks, let's go ahead and jump into it. So now that we're rounding off the NFL season, speaking of which, before we jump into that, let me go ahead and give myself some points, because I did predict the Super Bowl right. So that's a 30 ball on them. That's a 30 ball. So my record is impeccable at this point. I got 30 correct versus 8. I'm putting up numbers on them boys. But let's jump into these game picks. We're transitioning into an NBA season. And we're going to have more NBA. It's all going to be NBA game picks throughout. How I decide what games I pick, I usually go for the primetime games. So this is the game that's going to be on TNT tonight after the Bucks and Milwaukee game. Milwaukee Bucks and Celtics game, which the Celtics are up 88-76 on the Bucks right now in the third quarter. 2 minutes and 55 seconds left. Hey, the studio has increased. We have a whole nother TV in the studio where we can have live gameplay going on while we're going live. So this is crazy. But first game we have going on here is we have Warriors versus Clippers. Steph Curry looks like he's going to be out well into after the All-Star game before he comes back. You know what? I want the poll. I want to do polls on these too. So I'm gonna drop it in here. Yeah, we need to get a mod. Anybody want to volunteer to be the mod for Radio Dario? You guys can put in the polls for me. But I want to see what you guys think. Warriors or Clippers? And I'll unveil my selection for the game tonight. See what you guys are feeling on that. But we just dropped that into the community. Go ahead and vote. Who you guys thinking? Warriors or Clippers? For you guys that might not know, Steph Curry is out. So make sure you play that into your mind when picking that game. But the Clippers have been much like the Nets. I don't think the Clippers get enough criticism because they were formed around the same time as that Nets team was formed with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. And just like the Nets team, they've ran into several injuries. I think with the Nets, there was a little bit more going on with, Kyrie sitting out games because of COVID and everything. But the Clippers are just as equally disappointing. But I feel like they don't get a lot of criticism sent their way. But for that game, between that game, Warriors and Clippers, I got the Warriors winning. So Dario's pick for that game is the Warriors winning. I still think the team is talented enough, and this is usually when the Warriors start kicking on here in the back end to start getting things right, to go ahead and make sure that they don't end up in the play-in tournament and they end up in one of those top areas to be able to make the playoffs tonight cleanly without having to do a play-in game. But going into the Cavs versus 76ers, Cavs and 76ers, it looks like everybody's picking the Clippers over, looks like in the poll, 75% are going with the Clippers. So let's go ahead and get this other poll up. Yeah, we got some learnings here because I'm not getting through any of these topics in time. We're gonna have to adjust that, especially with the, like I said, if you would be interested in being a mod for the show, let me know, because we could probably use it at this point. Now I'm all over the place. Which I'm gonna be all over the place again here in a second, but it's okay. I just want to get your guys' take while we do this. Cavs or 76ers? I see it looks like Montel jumped in there and said the 76ers. So he went Clippers, 76ers, and Bucks. As I'm cut off. I'm late on every topic this week, but that's okay. It's a Super Bowl Tuesday. We're going to be all right. So, my picks are very different right now because you went with the Clippers, I went with the Warriors. Here in the second quarter, I just believe the Cavs match up really well with the Sixers. You got Jared Allen. You have Evan Mobley, which I believe are going to match up really well with Joel Embiid. So I got the Cavs winning tomorrow's night game against the Sixers. And then to end it with the Bucks and Bulls, I'm not even going to put a poll in that just for the sake of time. But for the Bucks and Bulls, the Bulls have just been very disappointing this year. I don't even know if Lonzo plays in the league anymore at this point. So I got the Bucks winning that game. That game comes on Thursday. And then I don't know for anybody knows this or not, but we do have NBA All-Star Weekend this weekend, which is super exciting event. I look forward to it every year, getting to watch all the stars of the NBA getting to square off against each other. You have the three-point shooting contest, you have the dunk contest, you have the Rising Stars game. So that's something to look forward to this weekend if you guys need anything to do with your weekend. Let's see, Clippers have a respectable coach. Hey, represent for the city. Clippers head coach is Tyronn Lue, who is from this city. Oh, Nets didn't. Shots fired. Steve Nash wasn't getting it done. But looks like you guys were split on the Cavs and Sixers game. It was 50%, 50-50. So that game is a toss-up. It's a lot harder to call than the rest of these games. But I just think the Cavs can match up with Joel Embiid pretty well. So that is second quarter's topic. We are about to jump into the third quarter topic. Who remembers what third quarter was last week? Who that is? Who that is a game we play here. It's who that player is. I'm going to drop some stats here. I want you guys to start trying to guess who that player is. They picked Nash. I know, right? The players did pick Nash. They was playing GM. So that is on them. They chose Steve Nash. But drop in there in the Q&A, who that player? Y'all let me know who that player is. We about to jump into some stats. If you know who that player is, go ahead and respond. Let us know who you think that player is. So let's jump right into it. So, player I am thinking of. I did not reset the clock, so we're going to go ahead and reset the clock. Go ahead and reset that timer one time. And let's roll. It is rolling. So who that player? So, first stat that we're going to reveal is this player that I am thinking of had 110 catches on the season. 110 catches on the season for this player. Who do you guys think that player is? Who that player is? Anybody have any guesses so far? 110 catches on the season. Anybody have any guesses so far who that player is? Second stat we are going to reveal for this player. This player had 1,338 yards receiving on the season. 1,338 yards receiving on the season. Who that player? Any guesses? Any guesses? Uh-oh. We got one person that jumped in there. Do we have any other guesses? We got another person that just jumped in there. Let's see. Who that player? This person also had 12 touchdowns on the season. We just had another guest jump up in there. Let me know. Who do y'all think that player is? Who that player? All right. Let's go into some of the personal info just in case you guys don't know yet. Anybody else that trying to let people have time to guess? Only one person, it looks like, actually answered it in the who that section. Looks like everybody else is just throwing it in the chat. But this player is 6'5". This player is 6'5". Who that player? All right. Looks like we're starting to get a common theme here. This player wears number 87. If you guys don't have it by now, then you probably will never get it. If you don't have it by now, you'll probably never get it. And the final hint and clue that I got for you guys is this player plays in the AFC. Who that player? Who that player? Let's see. The first guess that I had come through, which isn't showing on here, because nobody answered to the question except for one person. So I got to jump over to the chat. First answer we had come through was Kelsey. Kelsey was the first guest we had come through. Second guest we had was a Justin Jefferson. We also had a lot of Travis Kelce's here. You can tell we got a lot of Kelsey fans on here, huh? A lot of Kelsey fans on here. Well, you guys are absolutely right, because who that player is Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce. So, to the radio listener, that guessed it first, we have Brittany Reno. I am going to find your information. We're going to swap it. I'm going to send you a gift card. A gift card for getting that Who Dat Player right this week. Thank you guys all for participating. Try to win next week. Who Dat Player. As you know, last week we didn't have nobody get it right. So sometimes, some weeks are going to be easier. Some weeks are going to be harder. But I mean, you had to get this one right. It's Super Bowl Tuesday. And we got Super Bowl champion Travis Kelce as Who Dat Player. So, had to show him some love. We got some extra time, but we're going to go ahead and jump past that because we went a little over on some of our other segments. So, we're going to try to get some time back here. And I did not. Let's get caught up here. So, we are moving on to Dario's Hot 5. Dario's Hot 5. Let's see. So this is a new segment that I'm introducing to the show. This is gonna be like my we're gonna mix it up a little bit on this topic. It could be my top 5 under 25 list in the NBA, or my top 5 quarterbacks under 25, or my top 5 quarterbacks in the league, or my top 5 teams right now, the hottest teams in the NBA right now, or the hottest teams in the NFL right now, or whatever sport I might be talking about. Whatever I want to do, ultimately, it's Dario's Hot 5. And as you know, our segments are 5 minutes long, so it's my Hot 5 and 5. So let's go ahead and start the timer, and let's jump into this Hot 5 and 5. So for this week, the Hot 5 and Hot 5 is going to be all centered around the NBA as we're moving into the NBA season here. Let's jump up in here. So, starting off in the 5th spot for Dario's Hot 5 and 5. Let's see. 5th place, or the 5th hottest team that I want to highlight in the NBA right now, is the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers have a really young team. If you guys have been following Radio Dario, you know in episode 1 and 2, I spoke on the Cavs after they made that blockbuster trade for Donovan Mitchell, and I said it doesn't move the needle. All it did was get you set up to be 4th or 5th in the East. Well, Radio Dario still ain't wrong. They currently sit 4th in the East as of right now. They sit 4th behind the 76ers, the Bucks, and the Celtics. But I must give love to the Cavaliers because they have been performing very, very well this year. I love watching this team play, especially with all their young talent. Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, as I talked about, 2 tall bigs that I feel like can match up pretty well with Joel Embiid. That I feel like can match up pretty well with Joel Embiid. That are both 7-footers. Evan Mobley is a really great shot blocker. Donovan Mitchell, Karis LeVert, Darius Garland, they're all bucket getters. Darius Garland is having a really great year. I mean, he was an all-star last year, but he's still having a great year, even with some time missed due to injury. Karis LeVert is a bucket. Either one of those 3 guys can go get you 50. Either one of those 3 guys can go get you 50. I mean, even Okoro has been playing a lot better as of late with this team. So that is my 5th team on that Hot 5 and 5. So look out for the Cavaliers later on in the season. But I ended up having to give them more love than I thought to begin the season. They're playing pretty well. They're a really good team. I think they match up pretty well with some of the top teams in the NBA. As we go on to the 4th spot, bam, Grizzlies. I got the Grizzlies in that 4th spot. If you haven't watched basketball and you want to think about getting into it, this is a really fun team to watch. The Grizzlies have the most athletic point guard in the NBA in Ja Morant. And Ja Morant kind of just is the heart and soul of that team. They kind of move with John Morant. They have some solid other players with Desmond Bane, who's an incredible shooter out there on the wing. You got Jaren Jackson making his first All-Star game this year, blocking shots, doing all the things that you want your top big to do. They have Steven Adams, who's a force, grabs every rebound. They're a really fun team to watch as well. So if you are trying to get into the NBA, the Grizzlies are a really great team to watch if you want to see some entertainment. They are fourth. On third spot, Nuggets. Nuggets, you have two-time MVP Nikola Jokic on that team, and that's a bad boy. As much as I hate to admit it, he is a bad boy. He gets down. He has incredible court vision. They are having a really great year, and you would probably ask me, why do I have them third on the list underneath the other two teams, especially with the Nuggets leading the way in the Western Conference. And the Western Conference historically being the toughest conference and it being wide open this year because it's so competitive and there's really not a clear head horse over there in the Western Conference, especially with the Suns just recently making this move to where they could possibly end up making some steam. But right now, Nuggets sit atop there, and they are in my third spot because outside of Nikola Jokic, you have Aaron Gordon, who is a solid defender, knocks down some big shots, and you also have some solid play on the perimeter. But I'm not sold on him. The only person I'm really impressed with is Jokic. And they should have kept Bones. You are absolutely right. Bones is cold. They are tripping for letting go of Bones, which Bones, I believe, ended up getting traded over to the Clippers, which I think Bones is going to eat with the Clippers. But let's jump into that next team here in that hot 5 and 5. When we're running out of time, we got the Bucks. Bucks still have the best player in the league. I know I just said Jokic was your two-time MVP, and it looking like he's on pace to go ahead and get another MVP trophy this year. But Giannis is still hands down the best player in the league, and I really feel like Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving is running from smoke from Giannis. That's how I really feel. And the buzzer gonna sound. But I really feel like Kyrie and KD are running from smoke from Giannis. All of them are afraid of Giannis. That's what I believe. Nobody wants smoke with Giannis. They all run into the West because they don't want to go up against Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's a bad boy. The Greek freak. They all running from smoke. I seen an interview the other day when Pat Bev was talking about Giannis. He was like, hey man, why Giannis always ducking smoke? And his brother went back in the locker room and told him what Pat said. And then Giannis comes out hurt and all. Never run from smoke, Pat. Never run from smoke, Pat. I was in the back eating pasta, but never run from smoke, Pat. I like you, Pat. You come play with me. Man, all of them running from Giannis. That's how I feel. And that's why they are my number 2 in the hot 5 and 5 is because of Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak. That player alone is why they're number 2. And in the number 1 spot in Dario's hot 5 and 5, we have the Celtics. As I mentioned earlier on, that the Celtics and Bucks are playing right now, and the Celtics are taking care of business against the Bucks. I mean, you got Jason Tatum, you got Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is hurt right now. We're gonna see how that injury plays out. It could completely turn around my hot 5, but right now, as it stands, that is my hot 5 in the NBA. Celtics, Bucks, Nuggets, Grizzlies, Cavaliers. If you have an issue with it, let me know what you guys think. That's a take right there. They running from Boston too. Hey, Kyrie and KD, they running from smoke right now. Don't nobody want to see them boys. Between the Bucks and the Celtics, either one of those green teams, ain't nobody wanting smoke with them. But yeah, that's a take right there. I already said, you absolutely said that earlier on. That them footsteps is mad loud from the Celtics. You absolutely said that already earlier on. That is a take right there. But I agree with Muhammad. Nuggets should have kept Bones. Yeah, Bones is an incredible player. But that is it for the 4 quarters here. Now we are going to jump into the overtime topic. You know, we have Dario's scenarios, but today I just want to know what y'all doing for Valentine's Day. Y'all celebrating today? Y'all celebrating this weekend? Y'all gonna order food in for the All-Star game? What are y'all doing? What are some of the things y'all doing for Valentine's Day? Let me hear what you guys think. with some of the things y'all doing for Valentine's Day? Help me get some ideas. Anybody? Let's see. Anybody going out to dinner for Valentine's Day? Anybody getting flowers did anybody get me flowers for Valentine's Day today? Giving flowers? What y'all doing? Edible arrangements? What y'all doing for Valentine's Day? Oh shoot, every day is Valentine's Day. Is that what you tell her? Every day is Valentine's Day? Every day is Valentine's Day? Let's see. Parade planning. That's what we doing for Valentine's Day? Parade planning? Hey, no room for Valentine's Day this year. Chiefs won a Super Bowl, huh? No room for that. What about the weekend? What about after the parade? What we doing for the weekend for Valentine's Day? I had chocolate strawberries. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Chocolate strawberries is nice. You know, I actually have a story about chocolate strawberries. My brother made chocolate strawberries for Valentine's Day one year, and we had no clue what we were doing. So I hope they ended up tasting pretty well. But yeah, neither one of us knew what we were doing. Yeah, the presentation looked pretty well though. Let's see, ate them all already. Hey, they taste well, but I don't know if me and the ones my brother made tasted good or not. We went to lunch earlier. Oh yeah, where y'all go to lunch at? Flavor Flav said, "I can't do nothing for you, man." Flavor Flav. Speaking of Flavor Flav, who all watched For the Love of Flav? That was so long ago, but I can't believe that was a show. A lot of people watched it too. Hell, I watched it, but I can't believe it was a show. But appreciate you guys for participating, and don't ask me what I did for Valentine's Day. I don't want to get in trouble, but obviously I'm still in good shape. My wife brought me a water during the show. But I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for participating into this week's episode of Radio Dario. We're going to be back next week, 7:30 p.m. live, ready to go. As you know, it might come on a little later. It depends on how my day goes. But appreciate all the support. Again, don't forget to hit that notification bell so that way you guys know when the show is going live and it's airing. As you can see the record below, 30-8. Oh, we just had one chime in. My wife loved those strawberries, but she didn't eat them all. So maybe she didn't love them. Yeah, so, it's the thought that counts. It's the thought that counts. But catch you guys next week. Thank you so much for tuning into Radio Dario. Appreciate all the support. And I need to find something to exit out with these shows with. But yeah, catch y'all next week. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And let me know what you guys think about the show. Drop in the comments. Did you like the setup? Do you like how this is all flowing? And please, 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 if anybody wants to be a mod, come on and sign up, because I would love for somebody else to put these polls in, so that way I can just talk instead of trying to go back and forth and constantly missing my time frame here. Look, the segment's supposed to be 5 minutes long. If I go over 5 minutes, the show ends up lasting longer than 30 minutes, which we're almost an hour in today. So looking for anybody that wants to be a mod. Let me know. Appreciate all the support and love, and go Chiefs. Have a wonderful night, and make sure y'all do something for y'all significant other for Valentine's Day. Unless you just a really great catch, then you don't have to do anything. Have a good night.